Hi, I wanted to come on and spend a few minutes with you. I'm Michele. I have been on and continue to be on a path for a bigger life. And I've come to realize that if I want a new life, I have to start thinking new thoughts. So I turn to experts in the field who are successful to guide me along and help me change those thoughts so that I can ultimately change my life. How about you? Are you with me? Since 2020, so many people are, so many Americans are, which is what I referenced in the last Minutes with Michele that I did. So, how do we get there? It starts out by being really honest about where you are now. Not sugarcoating it and pretending things are okay, but really seeing what's happening in your life and what you desire to have different. And focusing on what you do want instead of what you don't want. What we don't want tends to flow out of us very easily. Think about that. What would you like to change? And start noticing. If you start saying, well, I don't want this, I don't want that. It's very interesting. As I'm reading this book by Dean Graziosi, The Millionaire Success Habits, he talks about asking people what changes they want to make in their life and how people are able to just let out all the things they don't want and then struggle with what they do want. Now, Dee Wallace, who's another person I follow, also has talked about that. People change in their life, and what they do is they focus on what they don't want, and then they end up creating more of what they don't want. She works with the metaphysical, and where she talks about frequency, how the universe is always listening to us and looking to help us. And if you take, say for an example, a thought like, I don't want to be sick anymore, you're putting the emphasis on the illness and using the frequency of fear. And what you really want is to be better, right? So you need to change that to, I want to be perfect wellness. And then put the frequency on love to create that. So that's the metaphysical take on it. Now, Dean, who's a super successful businessman, would say when you focus on, I don't want to be sick anymore, you're focusing on the problem and not the solution. So I don't want to be sick anymore is not helping you on how you're going to get well. That's the physical take on it. And I like to combine the two, the frequency of putting out what I desire as well as taking action. See, that's the law of attraction. It's not just thinking the thoughts and having the feelings. That's important, but you have to take action and the steps to then create it. Right? Think about that. So many of us are struggling with what we do want and focusing on what we don't want. And you know, I was thinking about it. It really makes sense to me because when you focus on what you don't want, you know, you're just putting it out there. So for another example, you know, I don't want all this debt, or I don't want all these bills piling up. You know, it's easy to complain about that. But then if you turn it around to what do I do want? Well, I want to have more money come in. I want to make more money. And now you have to think about, how am I going to do that? And create that. And that could be scary or overwhelming because now you're not only thinking it, but you're putting action to create what you do want. And that's something that we're not used to. And many would say, oh, that's too hard. But is living the way you are hard? You get to choose your hard. Successful people have a clear vision in what they want, and then they take action to make it happen. So when you spend time in what you don't want, when you don't have a clear vision, you end up being busy instead of productive. You say yes to all the distractions that are out there, and ultimately you're saying no without realizing it to the habits and the routines and the actions that would actually get you ahead and where you want to go. Successful people have that clear vision and they take action. So Dean gave an exercise in his book, which he actually said he got from Dan Sullivan. See, this is what I love. I'm telling you, we are all messengers. So here's what he says. Imagine it's 1 year from today, and you look back over the past year, you realize it was the best year of your life. What would have happened? Where are you, how much money are you making? How much money do you have saved? Who are you supporting financially? Where are you working every day? Do you have a home office, or are you commuting to a new location? Are you taking your existing company to the next level? Are you starting your own company? Are you evolving through the ranks of your job? Do you have a better relationship with your boss? Better yet, are you the boss? How does your spouse look at you first thing in the morning or after a long day? How do your relationships with your kids or your family members look now? What does your life look like when it's a year in the future and you look back and realize this was the best year of your life? Once you know where you want to go, you lay out those steps, or you lay out the thoughts, the plans, then you can start taking the steps to get you there and create the reality you want. So guys, this is the journey of self-awareness. And I am so happy to continue to be with you as we navigate through these times and beyond. I know my minutes have been getting a little longer, and I hope you don't mind. Connect with me, like my Facebook page, Newland Wellness, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Newland Wellness. Let's stay connected. I'm so grateful for you, and I thank you for spending a few minutes